welcome to this China Petals how-to video for the Ashmoleum Zhong Rainbow Mosaic. This video is intended to complement the written instructions included in the kit, and some of the processes may have been sped up for time. What I recommend is that you watch, pause and rewind if you need to. This is a great outdoor kit which will add lots of colour to your garden. Have fun!
Start by emptying your bag of tiles onto a small tray or even into the kit box. Check the corners of the bag just to make sure there's no tiles caught in the corners there. You will see that the acrylic sheet has a protective film on both sides. You just need to remove the film from one side at this stage, and you can take the other side off after you've grouted. So it should be fairly easy to take off, and then you can discard the film in the household waste. As you can see, the acrylic sheet is quite shiny. What we need to do is rough it up a little bit using the sandpaper to create a key, and this will help the tiles bond with the acrylic sheet and the glue. So take the little bit of sandpaper and give it a good rub over, scratching up the surface as much as you can, and that will make that key. Just be careful, because by scratching the acrylic you are creating a little bit of dust. Once you finish scratching your key, just give it a wipe over with a damp cloth to remove any of the dust. This is a very simple design of lots of different coloured tiles going down in rows. So the first row we start is between the two hanging holes at the top, and we're putting 4 orange squares evenly spaced along the top. You can either place the glue on the back of each individual tile or draw a line of glue on the shape and press the tiles into the glue. Use the little orange stick that's included in the kit to help you nudge the tiles into place. For the next row, you need to place 4 long black shiny tiles end to end. They fit exactly onto the shape. You may find it easier to actually put the glue on the acrylic backing for these long thin shapes rather than putting the glue on the back, and it's okay for these tiles to touch. Use the orange stick to help get a straight line. So the next line are the round circles. So I'm starting with a red line of round circles, and they get placed directly underneath the black tile above. Oops! You will see that the tile has 2 sides, a ridge side and a smooth side, and traditionally the ridge side is what goes down onto the shape. Make sure that you press the tiles firmly onto the backing to form that bond. The next row are 4 more long black tiles. You can see this time I've chosen to put the glue on the back of the tile, but it's entirely up to you whether you put the glue onto the backing and press the tiles into it, or individually put the glue on the back of the tiles. As you can see, the tiles just fit onto the shape perfectly, so you may need to do a bit of nudging and make sure they're all close together to get them to fit. So the row after that are the orange tiles. So this time we've got 6 orange tiles going across in a line. And now we're back to another line of the long dark black tiles. Follow this pattern of repeating rows until you get to the bottom of the mosaic. It's the same pattern: orange squares, black lines, circles, black lines, orange squares, black lines. So just follow that pattern as you go down. I'm going to speed up the process on the video for time. It's up to you whether you want to keep your circles in the same way as the instruction booklet in this video, or whether you mix it up. That's entirely up to you. I can see as I'm putting down this last row of round tiles that I'm going to struggle getting on the long thin ones to finish it off. So all I'm going to do is just nudge everything a little bit upwards so I can fit on that last row of black tiles. The last row of black tiles, they need to be on the edge but not over the edge, so I don't have to nudge things much on this. Using the little orange stick again, I'm just checking that my rows are straight and then just adjusting the tiles until I'm happy. Okay, I'm happy now with my placement, so all I need to do now is leave it 24 hours for the glue to go completely dry, and then it's on to grouting. Next day, as you can see, the glue has completely dried and now we need to grout. For grouting, you will need the grout powder, the gloves, the jumbo mixing stick, an old pot like a yogurt pot, some water and a teaspoon, and something to cover your work surface. Start by pouring half of the grout powder carefully into your mixing pot. I've got an old yogurt pot here that I'm using. I'm going to add 3 teaspoons of water. 1, 2, 3. This isn't enough water at this stage, but I like to add my water and grout mixture bit by bit. It gives me more control over the consistency, because I'm looking for a consistency like peanut butter, cream cheese, that sort of thing, toothpaste. So just mix it slowly and carefully. I've spread up some of this mixing process just to save a bit of time. And there we are, the cream cheese, toothpaste, peanut butter type consistency that I was looking for. So all you need to do now is let it slake for a minute or so before you can use it, and that just helps the chemicals start working their magic. I've taken my backing off this one before grouting, but if yours is still on, leave it on, because that will stop it from scratching because obviously grout's got a bit of sand in it and can be a bit abrasive. So take some grout using the mixing stick, and all you're doing at this stage is just pressing it in between the tiles. So you can see obviously the black tiles are higher than the other tiles, so you just need to spread it carefully in between, squishing it into all the gaps. And it might be easier to actually do this with your gloved hand rather than using the little spatula thing. It's okay to cover up the hanging holes at this stage. You need to just cover the whole thing in grout, and don't forget around the sides as well. As you can see, I'm just squishing the grout along the sides, making sure that I've got everything covered, and in between all those ridges of the black tiles as well. Now I'm happy that everything's got a good generous layer of grout on it. I'm just going to take some of the thickness off. I'm not wiping anything off in between the tiles, I'm just taking some of the thickness off the top of the tiles. Okay, I'm happy with that now, so all I'm going to do is leave it now for half an hour or so, just to allow the grout to cure, and then we'll come back to it and check it over. I'm going to rub off the excess grout off the gloves, and then I can put those back on later. So it's been about half an hour, and as you can see, the grout has started to dry on the top and form a dust. And then what we're going to do now is just get rid of the excess grout. It's still wet, but it's not as squidgy as it used to be. So I love this part of the process. It's very therapeutic. I'm going to start by dusting off the top of the tiles with my hand to get rid of any loose stuff on the top of the tiles, and then we're going to go into the sides of the ridges. I'm going to speed up this part of the process because all I'm doing is just rubbing the tops of the tiles off, so I'm just going to reduce this for time purposes. Going to use the orange stick here just to get into the ridges, so I'm not digging into the actual grout in between the tiles. I'm just trying to get the grout an even level between the lower tiles and the upper tiles, so I'm just using that to dig off the excess grout. If you still got your protective layer on the back, you don't have to worry so much about actually digging off the back, because as you pull the layer off, it will pull off any excess grout. It's now time to poke the holes through. As you will see in this video, I actually did have a bit of difficulty trying to get the hole poked through, and in the end I ended up just removing the grout from the corner. And then I did the other corner as well. That is fine. You're going to have your hanging thread through there. It doesn't matter whether the grout's in there or not. Everything should be stuck down well with the waterproof PVA. So it doesn't matter if your grout falls out. Just make sure that you can actually poke the stick through the hole so you can attach your thread. Now just giving the mosaic a quick wipe with a damp cloth around the edges, and just to get anything off the very tops. And there we are, one lovely shiny mosaic. All that's left to do now is to remove the backing film, clear up your workstation and let it dry for 24 hours. Let it cure slowly overnight before you attach the hanging twine and put on display. Here's one I made earlier, and as you can see I was successful with the grout in the hanging corners, but it doesn't matter if it falls out.
I hope you've enjoyed watching this video and had fun making your Zhong rainbow. Of course, this kit doesn't have to be displayed outdoors, it could be displayed indoors too. I always love to see how people have got on with mosaics, and if you'd like to upload a photo of your creation to the China Petals Makers Facebook group and let me know how you got on, I would love to see. Until next time, happy mosaicing!